So they told me that I had to go first since I was the one with this brilliant idea. And I'll get started now. I am Toyin Mutcherson. I am the CEO and founder of BFF Publishing House. Phenomenal faith to me is knowing that God never leaves your side when there are fires raging all around you. The chapter title that I chose for my book is Little Fires Everywhere. Has anyone ever felt like their world was on fire? Finances on fire? Wife or husband? Relationships? Boyfriends getting on your nerve? Co-workers? Health issues? Just feeling like fires are just blazing left and right of you. Those fires will certainly come. They're gonna come. And to prepare yourself, get to know God. Build a close relationship with Him. All that means is worshiping Him, calling things that you don't see as though they are already there. Trust God as those fires come. And in my chapter, I call God the expert extinguisher. He extinguished every fire that came my way. He saw it coming. He approved the assignment on my life. And so when those fires come, you just pray. Thank God that it's already behind you. You have phenomenal faith. And if you don't have phenomenal faith, take your mustard seed faith. Who has mustard seed faith? At least. I see some hands. Okay. Well, who has phenomenal faith? All right. Even more hands. You take that faith and you continue to elevate. You continue to trust God. You continue to worship God. And He will never, ever, ever leave your side. All right? I have this saying. I'm going to say it. I'm running out of time. Show up to go up. When I say show up, y'all say go up. Show up. Go up. All right, that's my time. And I need, everyone knows who's next, but I don't have my phone, so I don't have the order. Can somebody pull up the email that I sent? Okay, Queen is next. So please welcome to the stage, Queen Bohannon. Clap it up, encourage my good sister. Go, Queen, go. Go, Queen, go. They are starting their paid speaking career right here on this stage, okay?
I am Queen Bohannon, and the title of my chapter is A Victim Turned Warrior Queen. Why did I title this A Victim Turned Warrior Queen? Well, for one, as a child, and even going into my early adult years, I always had a victim mindset, thinking that things were always happening to me, instead of truly realizing and understanding that it all was for a greater purpose. A warrior queen is a woman who keeps her crown held high, takes the stones that were thrown at her, and uses them as strength to build the foundation of her life. She allows herself to feel her emotions, never running from her truth. Yet she faces everything head on and seeks not to be viewed as a victim, but as a survivor on a constant journey to thrive and shine. She straightens her crown when it tilts and gives herself the love she knows she deserves. With each challenge, she grows mentally and spiritually, relentlessly working every day towards becoming her best self and healing from the inside out. She understands her quest to heal, and through her faith in God, it is a decision she must make on a daily basis. She trusts that everything is working out for her good. That is an excerpt from my story of my chapter and my quote of a warrior queen. As a survivor of sexual trauma, as well as someone who has attempted to take her life multiple times and survived it as well, I had to realize I didn't just go through those things. I grew through those things. This journey of becoming an author with these 11 phenomenal women was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, because I realized that little girl was still within. This is not just about me. This is not just about us. This is about all of us realizing that we have to help each other to know that we are not alone. The little girls that are suffering in silence, the women that are still suffering in silence, your voice must and will be heard. So allow our stories to empower, inspire, and motivate you. So I'll leave you with this. Life is gonna have some rough moments. You'll have your ups, your downs, your hills, and your valleys. But through phenomenal faith, leaning on God, and through prayer, you can get through anything. You will live, and we will thrive. So rise up, warrior queens. Keep pushing. The best is yet to come. Because just remember, your story, my story, our stories are still being written. God is not done with us yet. Thank you.
All right, Queen, delivered that fire. I'm so proud of you. Next up, we have Ashley N. Williams. Keep the same energy for Ashley. Let's get ready. Ashley's making her way to the stage.
Hello, everyone. As Tony has said, my name is Ashley N. Williams, and the title of my chapter is Shaken but Still Winning, and that is because I battle with epilepsy, seizures. Where did they come from? No one can tell me. I don't know where they come from. Doctors can't tell me where they came from. However, I battle with seizures. I've never claimed the seizures. When someone asks me about seizures, I don't say I have epilepsy. I don't have seizures. I battle with them, and this is a battle that I'm going to win with God's grace. And shaken but still winning, although my body may go through physical convulsions, your life may feel like you're in convulsions. However, you will win. If you don't claim the negative energy coming from here, the negative energy coming from there, all of that, you don't claim that. You say, I'm going to get over this, because you will. So yes, I battle with the convulsions, headaches. My body, I'm waking up and my body feels like I've been working out for 24 hours, because that's how strong the convulsions are. I'm waking up on pillows full of blood. Can't be explained. Just like that happens in my life, that can be happening in your life in a different situations that you're going through. However, don't let any of that stop you. Just like when I wake up in the morning and I see I'm on the floor, I don't know how I got on the floor, I'm still going to get up. So in your life, if there is ever anything where it's like, Lord, I'm just on the floor, I fell down, but I got up. So, shaken but still winning, Ashley N. Williams.
Good job, Ashley. Yes. Yes, ma'am. And next we have Lexie Mutcherson. Where is Lexie? Okay. So we will go to Cannella Mutcherson-Jefferies. Clap it up for my mom. Come and do a wonderful job, Mom. After Cannella Jefferies, if Ladriana could be in the waiting room.
afternoon. Of course, I am Cannella Mutcherson-Jefferies, and the title of my story is Young, Uneducated, and Impregnated. The title came from my daughter Toni, who wrote this poem in 2003, and I'd like to share it with you. Her tears touched her hands that touched her stomach. 13 years of womanhood, nothing from the norm of her hood. A baby dad that was no good. In fact, he laid her down a year later to miseducate and impregnate. Her lesson learned was unlearned. Again, her tears touched her hand that touched her stomach. 14 years of womanhood, nothing from the norm of her hood. A baby dad that was no good. In fact, good as gone. Then from that day on, she was left to raise and praise two beautiful children all alone. Over the years, looked down and persecuted with the odds against her. She broke. Even then, she broke free. Free from the mistakes that took the place of her childhood. Free from the shame that was draped upon her being. Free to be free. Free to raise my siblings and me. A woman so strong, God made stone her backbone. That sister got it going on. Her tears touched her hands that touched her stomach, that touched my heart. Thank you. That poem, once again, was written by Toni in 2003. As the poem states, I was a teen mom. I had my first child at 13. So you can only imagine the shame that came along with that, living in a neighborhood and raising a child. My parents, my father's a preacher, and the preacher kid is pregnant. Not only that, she has the child, and a year later, what, is this really real? Can a 14-year-old girl have two kids before finishing high school? Yes. Getting pregnant the very first time I had sex, that was me. So it can happen. So I just want you all to know, when you're young, and research would state that you are not expected to be successful in life. If you're usually from a single family home, that you have no self-esteem, no self-worth, no self-value. But that was not the case for me. Our parents were married for 60 years, and I was loved immensely by my family. So yes, it can happen. So I want my child, this is the second daughter from that youth pregnancy. This is my daughter, Ro. And this is how I felt at a very young age. I believe that when anyone ever been in love before at a very young age, you met Mr. or Miss Right, and that was the world for you? Anyone? Maybe it was just me. But yes, it does happen. But love will make us do strange things.
Something that can make you do wrong.
I think Al Green says it best. Love will make us do strange things. And finally, I would leave you with this, that we can make mistakes and we rise from those mistakes and we still persevere. So anytime you see a teen mom, please embrace her. Don't look down on her. Please lift her up, because you are her family. You are the village that she needs. And if it was not for those two Bettys in my life and the support of my amazing family, I wouldn't be here today. It was the strength of those women that I stand on their shoulders. So thank you, Mom. Thank you, Miss Betty. They're both in glory today, but I want to thank them, and I want to also thank my daughter, Renee and Ro, because when they were born, they helped me to get on track to do what I needed to do so that I can provide a better life for them. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. My mom brought me to tears. I didn't know she was going to read that poem. That was beautiful. Thank you, Mom. You did an excellent job. And next up, we have Ladriana Johnson. And if Lexie Mutcherson can be in the waiting room. Give it up for Ladriana Johnson.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ladriana, and my chapter is called Good Grief. So, I lost my mother at 18, and my brothers were 3 and 4 at the time. Grief has such a bad connotation. However, it is multi-dimensional. It can be multifaceted. You can be happy. You can be sad. You can be angry. This is your lived truth. No one can tell you how to grieve. No one can tell you what's right or wrong. No one can tell you how long it's supposed to take. I'm going to come back to the marker. I just want to say that throughout this journey, I've learned that I am strong. I am brilliant. And I can do anything that I put my mind to. And I want to leave you with this. Enlighten what is dark in you. Mend what is broken in you. Revive what has died in you, and heal what is sick in you. This is my good grief. My name is Ladriana. Read my story.
Great job, Ladriana Johnson. Next we have, oh, you want me to put it on there for you? You got it. Okay, next we have Lexie Mutcherson.
All right, hi everyone. I am Lexie Mutcherson. I'm Antionette, Tony's sister, Ladriana's cousin, and a daughter to my mother who was up here with the music. So it's kind of a family affair happening right now. The chapter of my book is called All Hell Broke Loose. I have like some kind of subtitles. So another subtitle is Living Faith by Faith. So I broke my chapter up into 3 different parts. So all hell broke loose. Then I was living faith by faith. And then at the end, I got double for my trouble. So the things that happened in my life when all hell broke loose, I thought everything was falling apart. My world was crashing down. Things that I planned for my future did not happen. Graduated in 2009 at the peak of the recession, could not obtain a job. I was making like $725, living in a condo downtown in Miami because I'm like, I'm gonna get a job. Let's go ahead and get this condo. My mom agreed, so we got the condo and right in the middle of the recession. So I went from that to, being a single mom. I just had a lot of different things happening that did not go as planned. And as I was living in Miami in 2009, I started going to this church called New Birth. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of it, but it's a New Birth located in Miami, Florida. And one of the verses that they would say to us on Sundays was Jeremiah 29:11. And that verse goes, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future." And it was during those early days that I really clung to that verse because, like I stated, my plans for my future really fell apart. So I had to realize only God knows his plans for me. So despite how everything looked and how bleak it looked, I just really had to cling to that verse and realize that my future God knows the plans, and my future has no harm. God is not going to do any wrongdoings to me in my future. So I had to realize, live this, Keep going, keep pushing, surrender it all to God, and then in the end, you will get double for your trouble. And in that chapter, I talk about everything that the devil tried to steal from me. I literally got double for my trouble. I have a multi-million-dollar company right now. Like I went from being broke, making $7.25 an hour, to being where I'm at now. So when I say, if you keep the faith and just surrender to God and really cling to that verse and know that only God knows his plans for you, you can't go wrong. All right.
Woo! I can't believe, y'all wouldn't believe the grief they gave me about this. And look at how great they're doing. Wonderful. All right, so next we have Ranika Rashawn. Clap it up.
Hey everybody. So my name is Ranika Rashawn, and I wrote Story of Me because I'm in a transitional phase in my life. And as part of that transitional phase, I changed my name from my family's name because there was so much trauma, there was so much abuse, so much just unhealed things, and I wanted to release it. I also went through a divorce, so of course, a name change. But Rashawn is my middle name, but it also is my introduction to the world. My story is my introduction of who I am. I learned who I am this year. Last year, I lost my brother. He was pretty much like my soulmate. And in the middle of it, going through divorce and also dealing with the trauma of being sexually abused by a family member. So I thought, well, what better way to get my story out? Because sometimes everyone saw me as just a strong person, and they never saw me break down. They never knew that I even had the experiences that I had. So I wanted to tell my story from a sense that I battle with mental health issues, with suicidal ideations, and I have since a teenager, and that I deal with codependency as a result of some of the experiences I had in my life. But something that saved my life was going to CODA, which is Codependence Anonymous. And not a lot of people have ever heard of it. So I wanted to take the opportunity to share that. And so if people are struggling with connections with others, whether it's trusting yourself, trusting them, there's a place where you can find the tools to help you find the light in you. I spent so much time in the dark. I wanted to find my light, and last year I found my light. This year, right in this story, I found my light. How many people watch P-Valley? Okay, cool. So my favorite line is from Little Murder on the last episode, where he tells Uncle Clifford, he wrote that someone got a tattoo, and it was, "May the light find you in the darkest of your shadows." So whenever you're going through something, and it may seem really dark in that tunnel, trust and believe, even if it's a slither of light, just hold on to it, cling to it, and I guarantee you more light is gonna shine in. So thank y'all. Much love.
Woo! Y'all are doing a great job. Next, please clap it up for Ebonee Debrah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today, and I am thankful for this opportunity to share my story with you all via this platform and also this amazing book. 3 years ago, I was severely burned in a house fire, resulting in 30% of my body being covered in third-degree burns, severe pain, and a grueling recovery both physically and mentally. I was in a coma, and the hardest part was regaining consciousness to realize I would have to deal with daily pain and also carry scars from head to toe for the rest of my life. This realization sent me into a very deep depression, and I battled that with everything I had in me. God sent some amazing people at the right time, each with unique purpose to plant hope inside of me to get me to where I am today. And I'm forever grateful for all of those people, especially since I'm here to be a mom to my children who I love dearly. I describe my scars as survival tattoos because they tell a story of resilience and overcoming, and that's pretty much the theme of my chapter. And the name of my chapter is Immense Pain Leads to Inspiring Purpose. And one of the great things that came out of that tragic situation was that I'm able to connect with people on a deeper level, especially people who carry scars or visible differences, people who battle with depression, people who battle with pain. I connect with them on a deeper level because I've been there and I experienced it and I know how they feel, and I walk alongside them and I give them hope and encouragement every chance I get because I don't want anyone to feel the way I felt. And I think that's probably the biggest takeaway from our book, is that through tragic situations, we're able to connect with each other on a deeper level, and we're also able to help people overcome similar situations that we've been through. And so that's my purpose, and that's the goal of me sharing what I shared in my chapter. Thank you.
Woo! All right, Ebonee. Next we have Jessica Lumpkin. Clap it up for Jessica.
Thank you. Hi, as Tony shared, my name is Jessica, and the title of my chapter is Scar Tissue. Sometimes when you incur wounds, no matter whether it's physical or it impacts your psyche, your conscious, or your emotional well-being, it leaves scars. Now, if you were to tear your ACL, you would go and see a physical therapist after you've had surgery, and they would work it until it recovers, and then you can be back to normal. Sometimes you have to do the same thing with your own emotional wounds. So when it comes to my chapter, I look back at my childhood and my formative years, some of the things that I've endured, and some of the terrible coping mechanisms I also developed. Because of those coping mechanisms, different layers of scar tissue developed. It started preventing me from moving forward in my life. So with help, resilience, seeking therapy, and having a true relationship with God, humbling myself and knowing that I couldn't do it alone. Still struggling with scar tissue. But trying to bring it to a slick conclusion within 2 minutes didn't really work. So what I hope is that if you read my chapter, that you are persuaded to face and discover your areas that need healing and find a way to restore them and become reconciled unto yourself.
Phenomenal face. She did a great job fighting those tears. I know it. Please welcome to the stage Sharron Cross.
I hate stages, so this is a part of the growing process. So my chapter is called God's Pruning, and I am going to read a few things that kind of help you guys understand how I got there. So my book is more so about, I guess, overcoming toxic and controlling relationships. I met my ex-husband when I was 14 and in high school, and we wound up getting divorced about 12 years ago. And so when I was divorced, I was extremely broken and confused, and you name it, that's what I was. And so some of the feelings that I would say I would have that prompted my poetry writing was, I can't shake this feeling of worthlessness, for lack of better words, most people have someone who loves them more than anything in this world, usually their parents, spouse, or children. And in times like this, I realize it's just me. I come first to no one. And I'm tired of being the only person who puts me first. I have so much love to give, and not one person alive mirrors that for me. I understand there are priorities that other people have are different. It just sucks because I feel like with family, friends, and romantic relationships, I'm constantly not enough or incapable of being treated how I treat others. I'm finding it really hard to have a reason to be alive. I won't do anything, but I'm just in a very low space. I feel like I'm drowning. And so when I said that, the best friend that I had at the time encouraged me to write, because she says all I do is write. And so the first poem that I actually wrote was because at the end of the divorce, there was a lot of, I guess, defamation of character, and I took pride in who I was, and I was embarrassed and didn't think that I could get anyone, and because my relationship with him was so unhealthy, and it was from, a lot of verbal and emotional conditioning and abuse to open relationship lifestyle that I was not necessarily in agreement with, but it was almost like the only way that I can get attention. So I did that, and so I was single for 5 years because I didn't know how to get in a relationship once I got divorced. And so one of my first poems was, I want somebody to love me. I want somebody to love me who's unconditional and loyal. I want someone to adore me, hold me, someone willing to spoil. I want somebody to love me, I'm his only desire. I want somebody to love me unconditionally, excite me, light my fire. I want somebody to love me, somebody I can trust. I want somebody to love me, only for me he will lust. I want somebody to love me who can wake up to me every day. I want the ones who love me to make me his wife someday. I want somebody to love me daily, I'm on his mind, someone who can't wait to come home to me and spend quality time. I want somebody to love me who also loves my kids. I want somebody to love them and treat them like they're his. I want somebody to love back, somebody to come home to. I want somebody to love me enough to say, for me, it's only you. I want somebody to touch me, make me feel alive. Touch every inch of my body and adore me with his eyes. I want somebody to hold me when I'm sad or if I cry. I want somebody to tell me I'm glad you're in my life. I want somebody to love me so strong it makes me weak. I want somebody to start my sentences before I begin to speak. I want somebody to show me, to know me and understand my thoughts. I want someone who calls me someone who likes to talk. Of course, I want experience of love and lots of lust, but with only one person, I need someone I can trust. I want someone to love me, to always keep me safe. I want somebody who tells me my heart is his happy place. I want somebody who loves me for who I am inside. I want somebody who completes me and needs me in his life. I want someone to love me and also be my friend. I want that one who loves me to be there till the end. And that was my, thank you. That was my first poem of many, because I have tons of them now. But that was the awakening, because in this brief period of embarrassment, he had an email, and it was try me once. But then when we were going through all this stuff and we had to present stuff to the judge and I was bringing evidence of who the type of person he was, he switched his email to DB Truth is Life. And so that's what the title of my other book is. It's called Truth is Life, because unless I face some of my truths and share them, which I'm starting to in this book, I won't be able to fulfill or have a fulfilling life. And so the title of my book, God's Pruning, is because pruning removes the dead and dying branches and stubs, allowing room for new growth and protecting your property and passerby from damage. It also deters the pest and animal infestation and promotes the plant's natural shape and healthy growth. And because I know that I am destined for greatness, I am in the process of pruning, and that is why I am doing my first pruning with you guys. Thank you.
Next, we have our very last speaker. Thank y'all. Y'all all right out there? All right. Thank y'all for hanging in with us this long. Our last speaker, Toyin Fadina. Clap it up. She gonna come up here. No. You gotta move it over here. No, I'm gonna go over it. Okay. I just need to.
I am that challenged writer, as you can tell. Have you ever been worried about what you're gonna wear? Your jewelry, your makeup, your lashes? Okay, that was me today, all right? Have you ever felt like you just did not fit in, right? Maybe when you were in grade school, you didn't get invited to the cool parties or the cool events. Have you ever been that student that just didn't get it? Learning was just a challenge. Have you ever been that gifted person that was just filled with so many ideas, so many talents, that you just lose focus? Most people would call you just all over the place. I am that girl. My name is Toyin Fadina. The title of my chapter is I Am Tomi. Tomi means enough. It is short for Oluwatomi, which means God is enough. See, at 24, I didn't know that. I just knew Tomi enough. But I did not know Oluwatomi, God was enough. So I had to go through some things. On September 28th, which was about 3 to 4 weeks ago, my entire story changed. I was getting ready for my stepping party. Do you hear me? With one of the greatest, and I think his name was Unique. I got up that morning, I practiced my little stepping moves, the Al Green, and I could not breathe. I said, let me take a little walk for change. And I could barely make it back to my house. I'm like, oh, shoot, my asthma just acting up. But it's coming through hard this time. Because I'm a strong woman, what do? We push through. That's what we do, right? I was like, I can't let everybody down. You know, people are expecting me to be here. They know it's going to be a good event. You know, this just going to look bad. I went to the event. I stepped. I had to stop, couldn't breathe. People was asking me, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. It's just my asthma. I'm good. Well, that day, I realized I really did not know Oluwatomi. I was so worried about everybody because I was this people pleaser, right? So the next day, I called my doctor. She was like, girl, you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, what? Yes, I talked to my doctor like that. So I said, well, you know, I am a bit stubborn. I said, okay, well, let me go see if I got COVID. You know, that's probably what this is. I drove to go see if I had COVID. In the COVID line, my car breaks down. But I did test negative, okay? And I had on a gown. And you know women, when we wear gowns, we don't wear much underneath, right? And the wind was blowing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. I got on this gown. Whew. So then I gotta walk home. I might fall out on the way because I got asthma. So I called my daughter. I'm like, girl, I gotta go to the ER. The doctor told me I gotta go to the ER. I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna drive there. I'm gonna get there some kind of way. She's like, you need me? I'm coming. That's my daughter. She follows the rule. So I get to the ER. They rush me directly to the back, assigned 2 doctors to me. I'm like, this must be serious. A lady comes into the room. She said, do you have a living will? I'm like, huh? A living will? Now, I haven't been to the doctors my entire life with asthma, in and out. No one ever asked me if I had a living will. It still didn't click. So I asked my daughter boyfriend, I said, can you bring my Waffle House? I'm hungry. Come on now. They transferred me from one hospital to next, and they sent me directly to surgery. I'm like, this must be bad. I need to call some people. Well, I didn't get a chance to. They took my phone, and they took my waist beads. The lady was like, you need this? I'm like, yes, I do. I need to get this weight down. What are you talking about? I'm looking good. I'm getting ready for Miami. And so she took my waist beads. I was upset, looking at the monitors, made it through a successful surgery. Oluwatomi. Remember that word. Soon as I got out, still not right, I'm like, my daughter looking at me, and she's like, what is wrong with you? You're just different. I'm like, let me call people and just let them know I'm here. Well, my friends didn't respond like I would respond if I told them I was in the ER. Someone was like, I gotta go to the mall, girl. Someone was like, you where? Let me call you back. And some just did not answer. In that moment, my soul was broken. I felt like I did not matter again in life. And I was spending so much time worrying about my friends and what I was gonna eat, because I went off on the cafeteria manager at the hospital, that I was not focused on the right thing. A week later, I went to visit that same doctor. He was like, you almost didn't make it. And that's when I sat back and I thought, I was not ready. Like, I have stuff to do. My life is not in order. I'm not ready. Because we all know in that moment, when you reach that expiration, just like Tony's deadline, and she told me no, so I have a few mistakes, don't judge me. You realize that that's it. So I spent 90% of the things that I worried about in life, from a child, teenager, as an adult, as a queen. You ain't the only one, boo. It didn't matter. In that moment, I realized nothing mattered in life. My furniture, my car, my house, my friends, nothing mattered but my soul. Because once you leave this earth, that's it. And that's something my mom has been trying to tell me her whole life, and I wasn't listening. So I want to say thank you to my mother first. Thank you to my aunt, Moji, who gave me the name Tomi. She knew one day I would need to know Oluwatomi. She knew I would need to know it means God is enough. And thank you so much. And if we all can stand up and clap for this phenomenal woman here, okay? Can we stand up, please? Honey, she just celebrated her birthday and she gave the wrong person the mic, okay? They call me the energy producer. So can we please celebrate her again? Thank you so much. Because of this woman right here, I got $2, and I'm an author, and I'm challenged.
Thank you all so much. Please, one last round of applause to each and every author that came up here and shared their stories, that was brave enough to hold this microphone and take on this stage. I am proud of each and every one of you. Thank you all again for attending this very special celebration. We are 5 years strong. We are 5 years strong in publishing. And I want to continue to share Black stories. I love you all. I appreciate everybody's dream. Everybody's praying for me. Everybody showing up for me. Everybody pitching in one way or the other. And so I just want to thank a couple of people. And then you guys can go in the back, get your books, get them signed, mingle with the authors, and meet us tonight at 6 o'clock at the Wellness Spot. That's where we're going to be dancing, okay? So I want to thank King and Cinnamon Travel Agency, LCM Logistics, Creative Connections LLC, Lynn Jenkins, Monique Wells, Darius Elvira and my entire family, and especially my daughter who did not want to get on stage, but she said, you know what, for you, Mommy, I'll do it. And she came up and read my bio. So thank you all so very much. This has been a great event. Authors, get ready to take your pictures. Thank you all. Have a great day.